Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. We are going to talk today about the dramatic and the theatrical motif in amulets and why it is so important. On many of the amulets and the talismans we can find symbols, but other than the symbols we have words, a lot of words. What are they? Sometimes many of those words are different names of the divine, of God, and sometimes of angels. Many of them we cannot pronounce, and we are not supposed to be able to pronounce them or understand their meanings. Different researchers say that the one that's supposed to understand this calling and the power that the words have are either the divine, God, or the angels. They are meant for them, and we're just writing them down so we can call them to help us in whatever it is that we need. Many of those names, the other ones that are not of the divine, are names of demons or demonesses. When we know the name of a certain person or a creature, it gives us power. It gives us the ability to fight against it or even to rule over it. And many of the names that we see are names of demonesses. Most of the time, it's Lilith. Lilith has at least 17 different names that we know about. And in many of the amulets, we can see that people wrote down each and every one of her names. She considered to be so powerful that if you want to be able to just start a fight against her, you need to use each and every one of her names. In Hebrew, you have a difference in the language between male and female. So when you're using a verb, it is very obvious if you are talking to a woman or a man. Many of the amulets, you see some short reference maybe to Asmodeus, for example, but then you immediately go back to fight against a woman. And then they start to describe this magnificent fight, and they're describing everything that happens. You're calling upon the divine army, and you have warriors standing around your bed or walking with you down the street, and they're willing to fight at any given time. And they describe the fight itself and how difficult it is, and they describe the winning and how you're actually becoming victorious out of this fight, out of this battle. Now, this is interesting because I talked before that characters like Lilith or all the other mothers of the demons and the demonesses have influences of ancient goddesses of war. Either Lilith, Naama, Agrat, Machalat, and they usually come with an army. And in the ancient world, if you want to fight someone like that, and if you want to be victorious, you need to prepare for battle. So the theatrical and the dramatic effect on the amulet is actually meant for the one that is asking for the making of this amulet. It shows you how the help is going to come, how the battle is going to happen. It's very theatrical, it's very dramatic. There is no drama without Lilith. And you actually want to be able to impress the person that is holding the amulet and using it for protection. In some amulets, they even say that it's also fighting against witches, and you can use it as a protection against spells and witches. They're doing everything in their power to fight every divine feminine character or figure that they find threatening. When they describe those characters, the mothers of the demons and the demonesses, and sometimes even the Shekinah, the feminine manifestation of the divine, they use verbs that sounds a bit animalistic. They sniff each other sometimes, they call out, they yell, they stamp their feet, they do things that are very wild, very animalistic. And it means that they see them as very powerful. And if you want to be able to gain control on something which is so very primordial and wild, then you need the armies, you need the divine help, you need all of those. And all of that with the words and the symbol finding its place on the amulet. Now, I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the fact that those amulets or talismans are usually against feminine characters? What does it tell us about Lilith and Agrat and Machalat and Naama? Perhaps they were considered to be so powerful and so very powerful that Fighting them was almost like admiring them and how powerful they were. If you have any interesting amulets or talismans from any given time, do share them with us. I would love to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.